I'm Carla, and some of you may remember me from Carla Gets Crafty. That's a YouTube channel that I have. However, I haven't really put much on there in the last couple of years because it's dedicated mostly to paper crafting. And at that time, I was doing a craft fair. It was once a year in Branson, Missouri, and it was a 3-day event focused mostly on Christmas. So the last craft fair I did there was, well, going on 2.5 years ago, and I had done it for 6 years and absolutely loved it. I enjoyed it so much, but my body was, excuse me, telling me, you know, you kind of need to back off. There's a lot of lifting and the preparing and hauling and setting up, tearing down, restocking. And those of you who do craft fairs, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? So anyway, I decided with tears, I went to the managers and I said, you know, I'm just not going to be able to sign up for next year because, you know, I just can't do it. It's too exhausting and it's, you know, too much wear and tear on this 71-year-old body. So I just can't do that anymore. So, however, they were, you know, we both were kind of teary because I really did have a successful booth there. I mean, people, you meet people and they come back every year looking for your booth. So that makes you feel good about what you're doing. But anyway, enough of that. So what I've been doing for the last couple of years is doing some thrifting, going to garage sales, going to estate sales, and picking up things that I think that I could remake. So with that in mind, my new channel that I'm getting ready to launch today is going to be called Imagine That with Carla, because I feel like when I go look for things, I'm looking at things that I can envision, you know, the DIY of how we can change that, make it more appealing. And I'm sure that's what you do too when you're looking for things to thrift and do DIYs on for your projects. So anyway, I am launching that today, and I do want to mention that I am doing a new editing program. It's totally new for me, and it's a very simple, user-friendly one. But for me, I've never done anything like that. So if there are lots of stops and jumps in this video, it's because when I played it back, my head was in a lot of it, blocking everything I'm doing. So I'll try to talk you through it so you'll know when the jumps are coming or why it jumped. But anyway, that's what will be happening, and I'm going to need a little grace with that. So I'd appreciate that if you'd be a little bit patient with me, and as time goes on, I think I'll get a little bit better, hopefully. So anyway, back to what I was saying. Today's my launch, and I would really appreciate it if you would maybe share and you know, like and subscribe and hit that notification button. I'm not sure exactly how many I will be putting up at a time, but I'm trying to get at least once a week to begin with. And also, those of you who have watched my channel, Carla Gets Crafty, this is a different genre of crafting, but it might be something you'd be interested in too. You know, if you're getting up there a little bit and your mind's still wanting to do everything and have fun creating, but your body's saying, craft fairs, you can't do those anymore, you might want to try considering getting a booth. I have a couple of booths, and if you can kind of see behind me, I have stuff kind of just piled up there because when I go to thrifting, and the first thing I do when I get home, I stop in the kitchen, unload it, wash it all, clean it all, and it's going to sit there until I get it priced, which is what I have to do today or tomorrow. So anyway, if you have subscribed to Carla Gets Crafty, come on over here and subscribe. I'm starting from scratch, so hopefully you will enjoy my videos and tune in to watch more. Thank you. So this is a little tray I had in my booth last year that I had made, and it didn't sell, so this year I thought we would do a makeover. So what I'm going to do is use Dixie Belle's Caviar Paint, It's a chalk mineral paint, and it's a very good paint. I've used it on several things that I've made. I'm going to add just a little water because it has thickened up. I haven't used this particular color in a little while. So what we're going to do now is we're going to simply start painting. I put it on a little coaster or something there to lift it up so I can get to the edges a little better. So I'm going to give this a quick coat of the Dixie Belle Mineral Chalk Paint, and it only takes one coat. This covers really well, and as you can see, this background was basically white, and it has covered all of it without any second coat needed at all. So after we do that, we're going to let this dry. And when it dries, what we're going to do next is take some of DIY's Big Top, and we're going to add it as a sealer. Now with Dixie Belle paint, you really would not need to put in a sealer, but since this is a tray, I decided I would go ahead and put a coat of Big Top on it. So we're adding that. And after we get that on and that dries, then we're going to look at some IOD transfers. And these IOD transfers are from the Rose Botanicals. These are such neat flowers. They're kind of vintage and they're so pretty. It's really hard to choose which ones you want. So I decided to go with 3 bouquets, 2 smaller ones and then a larger one to put in the center. So I chose the 2 yellow ones to go on the side, and I'm just going to remove the backing, take the little tool that comes with the packet, and I'm going to just rub and get those on there. And if you have any issues, like with this one, I think a little bit of the leaf did not press on, and you can just match it back up and go back and press it on, and there's not an issue. It looks great. And then we're going to take the other one. Again, we're going to place it on there. I want these 2 to be in the background. That's why I'm putting them on first. Again, I take my tool and we're going to start pressing down, pressing all over, and kind of pushing up as I go. And if I find a little place maybe that didn't adhere well, you just lay it back down on top and just go over it again. So after we get this on, then I'm going to take a little bouquet of the pink roses, and I gotta think about how I want to position those on this tray. And I noticed that there's some little leaves that are covering up on the yellow flowers, so I decided to just cut those off, and you can always save those for another project. And I'm going to lay it down so it doesn't cover that pretty little yellow flower, and it still looks like it's in the background. And we're going to just lift up from the top this time. I'm kind of pushing that sheet that holds the transfer as I'm rubbing, and pull it up as I go, rather than doing the whole thing at once and then trying to pull it off. This way, if you're going and you see a little piece doesn't come up, you're right there with it. You don't have to try to match it up. You just go right back over it, press it down. And I noticed when I got to the bottom of this, part of the stem did not adhere. But as I said, just match it back up, lay it on there, and rub it on, and you've got it. There you go. Then burnish it a little bit with the shiny side of the sheet that held the transfer. Now we're going to go to IOD transfers that are called the Gilded Etiquette. Now with this, there are so many different patterns and scripts and labels on this little packet. I mean, you just can't go wrong by getting this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be cutting out some of the scripts, and I'm going to lay those on that black background, and it really does kind of make it pop. So when you apply the gilded gold labels on here, which I'm doing the script, you mostly just want to concentrate on going over the part that has the gold on the script, because if you try to go out of those lines very much, you could end up with gold flecks all over your dark background, and that's not kind of the look we're going for. So just try to stay on those, and they really come off fairly easily. Now we're going to take some, it's kind of like a gold rub and buff. It's not the brand rub and buff. I've actually had this in my stash for quite some time, and it's called Art-C, and I don't even remember where I got it, but it does do about the same thing. There I thought I got too much, thought we would take it off, and of course we know once we get this on we don't take it off, but I think it looks just fine. So as I continue to put this on and go around the outer edge, this project will be complete. Okay, this is a tray that I picked up at an estate sale. It is a very simple project we're going to do here, but I wanted to show you just how simple things can be and still look very nice. I had cleaned this off, and I was also going over it with my little blower here to blow out any pieces of anything that may have gotten stuck down in those tiny weaves of the basket. And I also had taken some pledge oil and had gone over that. So now what we're going to do is give it a final rub down here, and I'm going to be using some more IOD transfers, and these come from the Fairy Tale Florals. And these flowers, they're just so pretty. They are kind of vintage, and there's so many to choose from. I mean, there's different ways you can use these on different things, but what I'm going for is trying to coordinate something so I can get maybe 3 things on here. So I found this little set, and it's like you can take the purple larger one and I can put that in the center, and then it's got 2 little pieces of greenery that kind of coordinate with that. I think we're going to put those on the side, and also found a little butterfly that I think we're going to add to that.
Thank you.
this transfer to this side. I'm not sure if it's because I had used the pledge oil on here and maybe I didn't get it totally wiped off, but when I was pressing this one down, the bottom half of the transfer came apart. So I simply went back and tried to get the right angle for it when I put it back together, and it went together really well, and I'm pleased with how that turned out. What I particularly really like about the IOD transfers is that they don't have that big of a halo around them. So when you do put them on something dark, you don't really see the edges of where the, little bit of transfer is on the outside edge. And I really like that, because some transfers you put them on and you can really see, especially on a dark surface, that it's a transfer. Now we're going to add the butterfly, and after we add the butterfly, we're going to add a coat of Big Top from DIY and seal it all in. Now I don't show it on here, but I do put 2 coats of sealer on this simply because it is a tray, and I don't know if it would be used for decor or for practicality. You may just want to use it and set something on it. So that's why I went with putting 2 coats on after this one. And once we have completed putting the sealer on, this project will be complete. I chose 2 really simple projects to start out with, and I hope you enjoy them. And just think, if something doesn't turn out quite the way you wanted it to sell, you can always remake it, and you can always use something really simple on a thrift object or something you pick up at an estate sale. So again, if you wouldn't mind, please hit that subscribe button, like, share, and that notification button, so whenever I put up another video, you can be there to watch it and see how I'm doing. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.